Greetings, everyone, and welcome to MBA 210, Advanced Management Information Systems. This course goes beyond understanding technology concepts. No? It is designed to equip you with the ability to strategically leverage information systems to drive organizational performance, informed decision making, and sustainable competitive advantage. Beginning today, I invite you to treat this class as a digital management laboratory where real organizational data, systems, and scenarios will shape how you think and act as future managers and executives. Throughout the semester, our goals is to elevate your perspective from simply using technology to leading with data, systems, thinking, security awareness, and innovation in complex business environment. So to begin our journey together, I would like each of you to formally introduce yourself. Okay, okay. So by your full name, educational background, professional background, of course, uh, and current role, no, okay, technical or managerial strengths, and your goals related to information system and digital transformation. These are not mere introduction, no? They are a digital leadership narratives. So in advanced MIS, how you articulate your experience and aspirations reflects your readiness, no, to manage information, data, and technology strategically. Please approach this thoughtfully as throughout the semester, we will consistently connect MIS concepts, emerging technologies, and decision-making frameworks to your real organizational context and career objectives. Allow me to introduce myself formally. I am Dr. Marmilo V. Abante, and I will be handling your course in Advanced Management Information System this semester. My academic and professional background spans computer science, IT, engineering, business, public administration, education, and law, with focus work in emerging areas such as cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and data science. I shared this not to impress, but to underscore a key principle of this course. Effective management of information system requires an interdisciplinary mindset, and today's managers and executives must simultaneously understand technology, organizational processes, data governance, and ethical responsibility. And this course is designed around at the same integrated, systems-oriented perspective. So this course is designed to provide you with a in-depth understanding of management information system as a strategic management and decision support tool in both public and private organizations. We will examine how information systems, no, data analytics, enterprise applications, and emerging technologies support managerial decision-making, operational efficiency, innovation, and organizational strategy. At the same time, we will strengthen your managerial competencies in system thinking, data-driven analysis, information governance, cybersecurity awareness, and technology-enabled problem solving. By the end of this course, you should not only understand advanced MIS concept, but also be capable of designing and proposing evidence-based technology-driven solutions and action plans that are directly applicable to your organizational context. Okay. This course equips you with a comprehensive understanding of how management information system functions as strategic enablers of managerial work and executive decision-making in today's digital organizations. You are expected to view MIS not merely as technology, but as an integrated management resource and align systems, strategy, and operations. The course equips you to lead effectively in complex global situations by enhancing your skills in evaluating emerging technologies, designing data-driven solutions, managing enterprise systems, and addressing security, ethical, and governance issues. And this course cultivates managers and executives capable of systemic thinking, analytical decision-making, and responsible leadership through information and technology. So we have here to explain the strategic roles of MIS, analyze how IS align with organizational structure, evaluate emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, big data, and blockchain, design data-driven solution, assess information system security risks, ethical issues, and legal implication, and propose appropriate governance and risk mitigation strategies. Apply enterprise application, demonstrate effective project management practices, and formulate strategies for managing international and global information system, considering cultural, regulatory, and technological factors. Management information systems play an important role in enabling organizations to operate efficiently in globalized and digital connected economy. So our chapter 1 focus on this topic. So businesses no longer rely on isolated systems. Instead, they integrate data, processes, and decision-making across borders. In the Philippine context, large conglomerates such as Ayala Group and SM Investment rely on enterprise-wide MIS to coordinate operation across banking, real estate, retail, and utilities. Similarly, Chinese firms like Alibaba and Huawei use highly integrated information systems to manage scales, speed, and global reach. Yes. Global MIS also support real-time decision-making. Executive today's expect dashboard, analytics, and performance indicators that allows them to respond quickly to market changes. Let's say, for example, Philippine banks use MIS-driven risk and compliance system to meet Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas regulations, while Chinese financial institutions integrate AI-powered analytics to assess credit risk and detect fraud across millions of transactions daily. Another defining feature of modern MIS is digital transformation. Organizations are shifting from manual and paper-based processes to automated, cloud-enabled systems. In the Philippines, government agencies such as the Bureau of Internal Revenue and PhilHealth have adopted digital platforms to improve service delivery, despite challenges related to infrastructure and digital literacy. In China, digital transformation is more advanced with widespread adoption of mobile payments, software apps, and AI-driven public services. Global competition also forces firms to involve and innovate through MIS. Companies that fail to modernize their information system often struggle with inefficiencies and poor decision-making. Philippine MSMEs that adopt POS systems, inventory software, and online platforms gain visibility and competitiveness, while Chinese manufacturers leverage smart factories and IoT-enabled systems to reduce costs and increase productivity. So, this chapter emphasizes that MIS is no longer a support function, but a strategic asset. Managers must understand how information systems shape organizational performance, competitiveness, and resilience in an interconnected global economy. Chapter 2, International Electronic Business, refers to the use of digital technologies to conduct business activities across national borders. E-commerce platforms, cloud services, and digital marketplaces allow firms to reach customers and partners worldwide. In the Philippines, platforms like Lazada and Shopee enable local sellers to access regional and global markets, while Chinese platforms such as Alibaba and JD.com dominate cross-border digital trade. Digital collaboration is another major component of international e-business. Organizations rely on collaboration tools such as cloud-based project management system, video conferencing, and shared databases to coordinate global teams. Philippine BPO companies use this system to serve clients in the US, Europe, and Asia, while Chinese technology firms manage multinational research, manufacturing, and supply chain operation through integrated digital platforms. Trust and governance are crucial challenges in international e-business. Differences in regulations, data privacy laws, and cybersecurity standards affect how organizations operate across borders. Let's say, for example, Philippine firms must comply with the Data Privacy Act, while Chinese firms operate under stricter data localization and cybersecurity regulations. MIS plays a vital role in ensuring compliance and risk management in these environments. Payment system also illustrate differences in international e-business maturity. In the Philippines, digital wallets such as GCash and Maya are expanding financial inclusion through cash remains widely used. In contrast, China has nearly cashless urban economies driven by Alipay and WeChat Pay, fully integrated into everyday business, transaction, and consumer behavior. So this chapter highlights that successful international e-business depends not only on technology, but also on strategic alignment, regulatory awareness, and cross-cultural collaboration supported by robust information system. Chapter 3, Organizational Structure, Information System, and Strategy. This chapter focuses on information system both shape and are shaped by organizational structure. Centralized organizations tend to use centralized MIS for control and standardization, while decentralized organizations adopt flexible systems to support autonomy and innovation. In the Philippine corporations, headquarters often centralize financial and HR system, while regional branches retain operational flexibility. Chinese firms, particularly state-owned enterprises, often operate with highly centralized information system aligned with national strategy. So MIS is a key enabler of business strategy. Yes. Cost leadership strategies rely on systems that optimize operations and reduce waste, while differentiation strategies depend on systems that enhance customer experience and innovation. Let's say, for example, Philippine retail use MIS for demand forecasting and supply chain efficiency, while Chinese e-commerce firms use AI-driven personalization to differentiate their services. Organizational culture also influences MIS effectiveness. Resistance to change, possible lack of digital skills, and silhouette departments can undermine system implementation. In the Philippine public sector, legacy system and fragmented databases remain common challenges. In contrast, many Chinese organizations emphasize rapid adoption and top-down implementation of digital initiatives, sometimes at the expense of user participation. A strategic alignment between MIS and organizational goal is essential. Systems that are implemented without clear strategic purpose often fail to deliver value. Managers must ensure that MIS investments support long-term objectives such as growth, innovation, and sustainability. And this chapter reinforced that MIS should not be treated as a purely technical concern, but as a strategic management tool that must align with the structure, culture, and organizational vision. Chapter 4, as an organization rely more on information systems, social and ethical issues become increasingly significant. Data privacy, surveillance, algorithmic bias, and digital inequality are major concerns. In our country, issues surrounding data breaches and misuse of personal information have raised public awareness and regulatory action under the Data Privacy Act. Ethical concerns are particularly evident in the use of AI and analytics. Decisions made by algorithms can affect employment, credit approval, and access to services. Philippine companies adopting AI must ensure transparency and fairness, while Chinese firms face scrutiny over extensive data collection and surveillance practices enabled by advanced information systems. Workplace monitoring is another ethical issue. MIS allows organizations to track productivity, attendance, and performance, which can improve efficiency, but also raise concern about employee rights and trust. In Philippine BPOs, monitoring systems are widely used, while in China, workplace surveillance is often more extensive and socially accepted within regulatory frameworks. Digital divide remains a pressing social concern. Unequal access to technology limits the benefits of MIS for certain sectors and regions. Rural areas in the country still face connectivity challenges, while China was invested heavily in digital infrastructure to reduce regional disparities. True gaps remain. And this chapter emphasizes that the responsibility of managers to balance technological advancement with ethical governance, social responsibility, and respect for human rights. Chapter 5, emerging technologies in IT infrastructure. Emerging technologies are transforming how organizations design and use information systems. Cloud computing, artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, and IoT are redefining business models. In our country, cloud adoption is growing among SMS and government agencies, seeking cost efficiency and scalability. In China, large firms leverage domestic cloud providers and AI platforms at massive scale. IT infrastructure provides the foundation for these technologies. Reliable networks, data centers, and cybersecurity frameworks are essential. Philippine organizations often adopt hybrid infrastructure due to connectivity constraints, while Chinese firms benefit from extensive high-speed networks and state-supported digital infrastructure. Artificial intelligence and big data analytics enable predictive decision-making. Philippine banks use analytics for fraud detection and customer insights, while Chinese firms apply AI in logistics, manufacturing, and smart cities. And these applications demonstrate how infrastructure and data capabilities translate into competitive advantage. Blockchain technology is gaining attention for transparency and security. In the Philippines, blockchain pilots are used in remittances and supply chain tracking. China, while restricting cryptocurrencies, TIBO, support blockchain for government services, logistic, and digital identity systems. Correct me if I'm wrong, no? TIBO. No? And this chapter concludes that managers must understand not only emerging technologies, but also the infrastructure required to support them. A strategic investment in IT infrastructure determines an organization's ability to innovate, scale, and compete in the digital economy. In Chapter 6, now databases and information management forms the backbone of modern organizations because all managerial decisions rely on accurate, timely, and relevant data. A database is not merely a storage tool. It is a structured system that allows organizations to organize, retrieve, and analyze vast amount of information. In the Philippine setting, banks, hospitals, universities, and government agencies rely heavily on centralized databases to manage customer records, transaction, and regulatory reporting. In China, large-scale databases support massive platforms handling millions of users simultaneously, such as an e-commerce, transportation, and financial services. Effective information management enables businesses or business intelligence, which transforms raw data into actionable insights. Philippine retail companies, for example, use sales database combined with analytics to understand consumer behavior, forecast demand, and manage inventory. Chinese firms take this further by integrating real-time data streams from online platforms, logistic networks, and mobile applications to optimize pricing, promotion, and supply chains. These practices demonstrate how databases directly influence competitiveness and profitability. Data quality and governance are critical concern in both countries. Poorly managed databases result in accurate reports and flawed decisions. In the Philippines, challenges include fragmented systems, manual data entry, and inconsistent standards across departments. In China, while systems are highly advanced, the sheer volume of data raises concerns about data integrity, security, and ethical use. Managers must therefore prioritize data governance policies across controls and accountability. Business intelligence tools such as dashboards and reporting system helps managers visualize performance and trends. Philippine executives increasingly use BI dashboard for financial monitoring and operational performance, especially in industries for financial monitoring and operational performance, especially in industries like retail, logistics, and education. In China, Executive relies on AI-enhanced analytics platforms that provide predictive insights, enabling proactive rather than reactive decision-making. So this chapter emphasizes that managers must understand databases not as a technical artifacts, but as strategic resources. The ability to ask the right questions of data and translate insight into decision is a key executive competency in today's information-driven organizations. Chapter 7, the Internet and telecommunication infrastructures enable organizations to operate in a connected digital environment, business transaction, communication, collaboration, and service delivery increasingly depend on reliable connectivity. In the Philippines, the expansion of fiber networks, mobile internet, and wireless technologies has supported the growth of BPOs, online banking, and digital government services, despite ongoing issues with speed and coverage in rural areas. Wireless technology plays a critical role in mobility and flexibility. Philippine organizations rely on mobile devices and cloud-based systems to support remote work, field operations, and customer engagement. In China, advanced wireless infrastructure such as widespread 5G deployment enables smart factories, autonomous logistics, and real-time monitoring system across industries. Telecommunications also support international business operations. Philippine outsourcing firms depend on stable internet connections to serve global clients, while Chinese multinational corporations use high-capacity networks to coordinate global supply chain and research operations, and any disruption in connectivity directly affects productivity and service quality. The chapter also highlights the strategic importance of network security and reliability. Cyber attacks, system outage, and infrastructure failures pose significant risk. Philippine firms often invest in redundancy and cloud-based network management and cybersecurity control at a national and enterprise level. So this chapter reinforces that internet and telecommunication technologies are not merely utilities but strategic enablers. Managers must understand how connectivity influences operational resilience, digital transformation, and global competitiveness. Chapter 8, Information System Security, is a critical management responsibility, not just a technical issues. Organizations face increasing threats such as data breaches, ransomware, phishing attacks, and insider misuse. In our country, incidents involving leaked personal data have heightened awareness of cybersecurity and compliance with Data Privacy Act of 2012. In China, cybersecurity is treated as a matter of national and organizational security with strict regulations governing data protection and system integrity. Security risks affect all organizational levels. Financial losses, reputational damage, and legal liabilities can result from weak security controls. Philippine banks and e-wallet providers invest heavily in authentication system, encryption, and fraud detection to protect customer data. Chinese firms deploy advanced AI-based monitoring system to detect anomalies and prevent cyber intrusions at scale. Human behavior is often the weakest link in security. Employees may unintentionally expose systems to risk through weak passwords or phishing scams. Both Philippine and China organizations conduct cybersecurity awareness training to promote responsible system use and risk awareness among staff. Governance frameworks and policies are essential for effective security management. Organizations must define roles, responsibilities, and incident response procedures. Philippine organizations align with local regulations and international standards, while Chinese firms follow comprehensive cybersecurity laws that tightly regulate data flows and system operation. This chapter emphasizes that the executive must integrate security into strategic planning. Protecting information assets is essential to sustaining trust, continuity, and long-term organizational success. Chapter 9, enterprise applications such as ERP, CRM, and SCM systems integrate business processes across departments and functions. And these systems enable organizations to operate efficiently and respond quickly to customer needs. In the Philippines, large firms use ERP systems, to standardize accounting, procurement, and human resource processes across branches. In China, enterprise systems support massive operations involving manufacturing, logistics, and e-commerce. Customer relationship management system help organizations understand and serve customer better. Philippine telecom companies and banks use CRM platforms to track customer interactions, complaints, and service histories. Chinese e-commerce firms use advanced CRM system integrated with AI to personalize recommendation and enhance customer engagement. Operational excellence is achieved through process automation and integration. Enterprise system reduce duplication, errors, and delays. Philippine manufacturing and distribution firms adopt ERP to improve inventory control and production planning. Chinese factories use integrated system combined with IoT to achieve smart manufacturing and just-in-time production. Implementing enterprise system requires change management, of course. Resistance to new system is common, especially when processes are deeply embedded. Philippine organizations often face challenges related to training and system adoption, while Chinese organizations typically implement system through top-down mandates supported by strong organizational discipline. So this chapter highlights that enterprise applications are a strategic investment. When properly implemented, they strengthen the coordination, efficiency, and customer responsiveness, key drivers of organizational competitiveness. Chapter 10, Electronic Commerce has transformed how organizations create and deliver value. Online platforms enable businesses to reach customers beyond physical boundaries. In the Philippines, e-commerce platforms support MSMEs by providing access to national and regional markets. In China, digital marketplaces dominate retail, supported by sophisticated logistics and digital payment system. Digital goods such as software, online content, and digital services present unique management challenges. Pricing, intellectual property protection, and distribution models differ from physical products. Philippine content creators rely on digital platforms for distribution, while Chinese firms operate large-scale digital ecosystem offering streaming, gaming, and cloud services. Digital markets are highly competitive and data-driven. Firms use analytics to understand consumer behavior, optimize pricing, and improve customer experience. Philippine online retailers use basic analytics tools, while Chinese platforms leverage real-time big data and AI to dynamically adjust offerings and promotion. Trust and security are essential in electronic commerce. Consumer must feel confident in online transaction. Philippine organizations focus on secure payment gateways and compliance with data protection laws, while Chinese platforms integrate seamless, trusted digital payment system into everyday commerce. This chapter concludes that e-commerce is not just a sales channel, but a strategic business model. Managers must understand digital markets, platform dynamics, and customer data succeed in evolving digital economy. Chapter 10, Electronic Commerce has fundamentally reshaped how organizations create value, interact with customers, and compete in both domestic and global markets. Through digital platforms, business can sell goods and services without the limitation of physical location. In the Philippines, platforms such as Shopee, Lazada, and Facebook Marketplace, TikTok, Instagram enable MSMEs to participate in national and regional markets with relatively low entry barriers. In China, e-commerce has evolved into a dominant economic force with platforms like Alibaba, JD.com, and Pinduoduo embedded in everyday consumer life. Digital goods such as software, online subscription, digital content, and cloud-based services present unique managerial challenges. Unlike physical goods, digital products have near zero marginal cost and rely heavily on intellectual property protection. Philippine context creators and SaaS startups depend on licensing, subscription, and platform distribution, while Chinese firms operate large-scale digital ecosystems that bundle entertainment, payments, and services into unified platforms. Digital markets are highly data-driven and competitive. Consumer behavior, pricing, and promotions are constantly analyzed using MIS tools. Philippine e-commerce firms increasingly rely on analytics, dashboard to monitor sales trends and customer preferences. In China, real-time big data and AI algorithms, dynamically adjust pricing, advertising, and product recommendation demonstrate the advanced integration of MIS in digital market. Again, trust and security are critical in e-commerce. Customer must feel confident that their data and payments are secure. Philippine businesses emphasize secure payment gateways and compliance with Data Privacy Act, while Chinese platforms integrate trusted digital payment systems such as Alipay and WeChat Pay, supported by strong identity verification mechanism. And this chapter highlights that electronic commerce is not simply an online sales channels, but a strategic business model. Managers must understand platform dynamics, digital goods economics, and data-driven competitions to succeed in modern digital markets. For chapter 11, managing knowledge and information. Knowledge and information are among the most valuable assets of modern organization. Managing them effectively enables innovation, learning, and sustained competitive advantage. Knowledge management system capture both explicit knowledge, such as documents and databases, and tacit knowledge, such as employee expertise and experience. In the Philippines, organizations increasingly use shared drivers, learning management system, and intranets to preserve institutional knowledge. In China, knowledge management is deeply integrated into large organizations and technology firms. Companies invest heavily in internal knowledge platforms, AI-assisted documentation, and collaboration tools to support continuous learning and innovation. And these systems allow employees to access best practices, research outputs, and operational guidelines across geographically dispersed units. Information sharing improves decision-making and organizational agility. Philippine firms that encourage knowledge sharing across departments are better able to respond to market changes and operational challenges. In China, rapid information sharing supports fast-paced innovation cycle, particularly in technology and manufacturing sectors. Cultural and organizational factors significantly influence knowledge management success. In the Philippines, hierarchical structures in silhouette departments can limit knowledge sharing unless leadership actively promotes collaboration. In China, strong organizational discipline and performance incentives often drive participation in knowledge system through concerns about intellectual property protections remain. And this chapter emphasizes the effective managers treat knowledge as a strategic resource. Through fostering a culture of learning and investment in knowledge systems, organization can enhance innovation, resilience, and long-term performance. Chapter 12, decision-making is a core managerial function, right? And information systems significantly enhance the quality and speed of decision. Decision support system, business analytics, and AI-driven tools enable managers to move from intuition-based decision to evidence-based management. In the Philippines, organizations use MIS dashboard for budgeting, forecasting, and performance monitoring, particularly in banking, retail, and education sectors. Enhanced decision-making relies on data integration and analytics. Philippine executives increasingly depend on consolidated reports from multiple systems to gain a holistic view of operations. In China, advanced analytics platform process massive datasets in real time, enabling predictive and prescriptive decision-making across logistics, finance, and public services. Visualization tools such as dashboard and scoreboards improve managerial insight. Philippine firms adopt BI tools to track KPIs and identify trends. Now, while Chinese organizations use AI-powered visualization system that provide automated insights and alerts for executives. However, reliance on information system also introduces risk. Poor data quality or biased algorithms can lead to flawed decision. Managers in both countries must ensure data accuracy, transparency, and ethical use of analytics, especially when decisions affect employees and your customers. So this chapter reinforces the enhanced decision-making is not about replacing managers, but about augmenting managerial judgment. Because effective leader combines system-generated insights with experience, context, and ethical consideration. Chapter 13, building information security is a strategic priority in an increasingly digital environment. Organizations face threats such as cyber attacks, data breaches, and system disruption. In the Philippines, incidents involving compromised customer data have heightened awareness of cybersecurity and regulatory compliance under Data Privacy Act. In China, cybersecurity is tightly regulated and closely linked to national security and organizational governance. Information security requires a layered approach, including technical controls, policies, and human awareness. Philippine organization invests in firewalls, encryption, and access control, while also conducting employee training to reduce human-related vulnerabilities. Chinese organizations deploy advanced monitoring system, often supported by AI, to detect and respond to threats in real time. Governance and compliance frameworks guide security efforts. Philippine firms align with local laws and international standards, while Chinese organizations operate under comprehensive cybersecurity laws that regulate data handling, storage, and transmission. Managers must understand these frameworks to ensure legal and operational compliance. Security is also a leadership issue. Executive must allocate resources, define accountability, and integrate security into organizational strategy. Neglecting security can reflect in financial loss, reputational damage, and loss of public trust. This chapter underscored that information security is not merely an IT concern, but a management responsibility essential to organizational sustainability and credibility. Chapter 14, Project management provides a structured approach to planning, executing, and controlling information systems initiative. MIS projects often involve significant investment, cross-functional teams, and organizational change. In the Philippines, organizations adopt project management methodologies such as PMBOK and Agile to manage system implementation in both private and public sectors. Effective project management ensures that systems are delivered on time, within budget, and aligned with organizational goals. Philippine government IT projects increasingly emphasize transparency and accountability, while Chinese organizations execute large-scale technology projects with centralized control and rapid deployment. Risk management is a critical aspect of project management. MIS projects face risks related to scope, creep, user resistance, and technical complexity. Philippine managers focus on stakeholder engagement and training, while Chinese organizations often rely on strict timelines and performance targets to manage risk. Change management is closely tied to project success. Introducing new system requires users to adapt to new business processes and tools. Philippine organizations invest in user training and communication, while Chinese organizations often implement system through top-down directives supported by structured training programs. And this chapter highlights that successful MIS projects depend on both technical planning and strong managerial leadership. Project management skills are essential for executive overseeing digital transformation initiatives. Chapter 15, Managing International Information System, involves coordinating technology, data, and processes across national borders. Global organizations must balance standardization with local adoption or adaptation. Philippine multinational firms adapt systems to comply with local regulations while maintaining global reporting standards. Chinese multinational corporations often standardize systems while ensuring compliance with diverse international laws. Cultural differences influence system design and use. Philippine organizations emphasize relationship-based communication and flexibility, while Chinese organizations prioritize efficiency, discipline, and centralized control. MIS managers must consider these differences when implementing global systems. Regulatory environments also affect international MIS management. Data privacy laws, cybersecurity regulations, and data localization requirements vary across countries. Philippine firms comply with regional and international standards, while Chinese firms face strict domestic control over data flows and system access. Technology infrastructure disparities present additional challenges. Philippine operation is developing regions face connectivity limitations, while Chinese firms benefit from advanced infrastructure at home but must adapt to varying conditions abroad. This final chapter emphasizes that managing international information system requires strategic vision, cultural sensitivity, and regulatory awareness. Executive must integrate global systems while respecting local context, ensuring both efficiency and compliance in complex international environments. And this will be the course content for the entire semester from chapter 1 to chapter 15. So our primary textbook serves as the core reference to support our discussions. and analytical work in advanced management information system. However, it is important to emphasize that this course not rely on a single book. No, management information system, much like organizations themselves, are dynamic, evolving, and context-driven. As such, your learning will be significantly enriched through the integration of academic journals, industry reports, case studies, and real-world MIS implementation. I strongly encourage everyone, when preparing your narrative reports, pre-recorded presentation, and in-class discussion, to consult at least 2 to 3 additional authoritative textbook references relevant to your topic, as well as peer-reviewed and credible professional journals. And this practice will enable you to examine MIS concept from multiple perspectives: strategic, technological, managerial, and ethical. I believe through engaging with diverse sources, you will develop evidence-based, data-informed, and critically grounded discussions that reflect both graduate level scholarship and executive level thinking. This approach mirrors real-world managerial practice, where decisions are rarely based on a single source, but on synthesized insights from multiple reliable inputs. This course aims to prepare you not only to understand the MIS concept, but to apply them thoughtfully and strategically in complex organizational environment. So these references reflects the academic rigor of a graduate level course. You are expected to engage with scholarly literature, particularly journals, articles, to support your analysis and outputs. In executively, in this, as a leader, no, or a manager, credibility is built on evidence-based thinking. So developing the habit of consulting high-quality sources will strengthen your academic work and professional leadership discussion. You have here regional and context-relevant journals, no? Of course, credible web sources, and of course, and others. We have the Philippine, of course, and other, and China references, additional sources. Your performance in this course will be assessed through multiple components: pre-recorded presentation, case studies, exam narrative reports, individual presentation, and quizzes. And these assessments are designed to measure not only knowledge, but also leadership, communication, analysis, and application. Submission will be done through online, Google Classroom, Orange App, LMS, and professionalism in submission is expected at all times. For each student presentation, because you are 2 topics to present, no, per student. So for each student presentation, I will begin by providing a brief introduction to the topic to establish the context and key focus areas. No? And I will then give the floor to the assigned presenter to deliver the main discussion. After the presentation, I will provide a synthesis and summary of the key points to reinforce learning and link the discussions to our course objective. During the presentation, if you have questions, clarifications, or additional insights, please raise your right hand during our face-to-face, or post your question in our Zoom or chat box during online. The presenters will address this question after completing the presentation to ensure an organized and uninterrupted flow of discussion. There is no required number of slides or fixed duration for the video presentation, provided that the assigned topic is discussed comprehensively and with sufficient depth. The focus of your presentation should be in the quality, clarity, and completeness of the discussion rather than on length. Ensure the key concepts, theories, and relevant examples are clearly explained and properly supported by credible academic sources. I also expect everyone to observe proper discussion etiquette at all times. Now, please be respectful, concise, and academically grounded in your questions and comments. Constructive participation, such as asking relevant questions, take note, the relevant questions, offering evidence-based insights, and engaging meaningfully with the topic will be considered as part of your class participation and discussions grade. Professional conduct and active engagement are essential expectation in the graduate level course. And to ensure a consistency and proper documentation, the format of your File name for all submission must begin with surname, first name, followed by the specific requirement. This naming convention must be applied uniformly to all outputs, including narrative reports, case study, pre-recorded video presentation, examination, and final projects. Adhering to this format support organized record keeping, efficient monitoring, and faster verifications of submission. Please follow the provided example strictly, as improper file naming may delay the review and assessment of your work. The grading system is transparent and outcomes-based, so major exam, class standing, case study, presentation, and attendance all contributed to your final grade. This structure reflects the reality of leadership. Performance is measured across multiple dimensions, not just one exam. Consistency and engagement throughout the semester are essential. So this grading system provides a transparent basis for evaluating students' performance by translating numerical scores into their corresponding grade equivalent and qualitative remarks. So higher score ranges reflect mastery of course outcomes with ratings from excellent to pair, indicating varying levels of competency and achievement. A grade of 5 is assigned to score of 85 and below, signifying non-mastery of course requirements. This system ensures fairness, consistency, and clarity in assessment, allowing you to clearly understand how your academic performance is measured and how it aligns with institutional grading standards. As we formally conclude MBA 210 Advanced Management Information System orientation, I would like to emphasize that this course was designed not merely to fulfill academic requirements, but to prepare you to the realities of managing information, technology, and data-driven decisions in complex organizational environments. Throughout the semester, we examine MIS from a strategic, managerial, ethical, and technological perspective, recognizing that effective management of information system requires both technical understanding and sound executive judgment. You were challenged to think critically about how information systems support organizational strategy, operational efficiency, decision-making, and innovation. You engage with real-world cases, evaluated emerging technologies, and applied concepts related to data analytics, enterprise system security, and governance. So these are not abstract ideas. They are core managerial responsibility that you will encounter as business leaders, managers, and decision makers in digital-enabled organization. As we move forward, I encourage you to view MIS as continuous managerial capability, not a one-time system implementation. The projects and analysis you completed in this course are not endpoints, but foundation for informed, ethical, and evidence-based management practices. I commend you for your commitment and engagement, and I trust that you will carry forward a mindset of system thinking, data-informed leadership, and responsible use of technology beyond this classroom. Congratulations, and I wish you continued success in your professional and managerial journey. Good luck. Enjoy the end. Enjoy the semester until the end.